What is going on, everybody? Brick Builder here, and welcome to another episode of Cast SMP. Today's episode is going to be a sad one. It's going to be a different one, but I really have to get this off my chest. I have to discuss this, and I really have to kind of explain my opinions on what's going to be happening. But yes, the title is accurate. This is the end of Cast SMP. I know it's unfortunate, but it's nothing to do with Fluffy Host, the company that has sponsored the server. They didn't do anything where like they're taking the server from me, anything like that. They didn't do any of that before anybody makes accusations about that. But recently I've come to the realization that I have so many series on my channel running, and I have so many different SMP series, and Cast SMP is one of the ones with a less frequent activity ratio, and also just the overall structure of the server and stuff doesn't work as well to my liking currently. This doesn't mean that Cast SMP is never going to come back. There may be a revival in the future, but there's a lot of reasons for the ending of Cast SMP. The first reason being, quite simply, a lot of the things that I want to do SMP and survival wise are already things that I have planned for other series on the channel, and moving them over to this server just wouldn't make a lot of sense overall as far as plans. That's definitely a huge element, because I do like to largely plan out the way I record. I'm a very schedule-oriented person. So like I already have like 6 months or so of SMP content planned out, and then this came up, and moving stuff over to this just doesn't work, and I was just strictly like out of ideas, plain and simple. In addition to that, I don't want to get burned out of SMP content, and having too many survival series going on will do that to me. So I think that's another solid reason. In the future, when maybe there's less SMP content, Cast SMP can make a return. We'll also be a much bigger audience when and if Cast SMP comes back. So when that happens, there's a good shot that we can make things such as, you know, a bigger, more active server happen. Because although there was a fair chunk of players on the server, there's not as much activity as I would like to have seen on the server in the future. Now, for anybody who donated exclusively to join the SMP, I'm sorry, but in the future, if we ever do something again, of course, you'll still be able to join if we ever revive Cast SMP, and I do appreciate your donation, but I have made it pretty apparent that if you donate to me, it's not, you don't pay to join the server. Joining the server is a perk of being a donator, but when you pay $5 or to sponsor, it doesn't mean you're not paying for access to the server. You're becoming a donator, and because you're a donator, you can join the server. That's a thing there. In addition to that, there's also just been a lot of behind the scenes drama with certain people on the server not getting along, or different scenarios happening here and there. I'm not going to really mention any specific ones, but just a few have been brought to my attention, and there's something I don't really want to have to deal with. Like an SMP is a thing like that. And I asked everybody on my Discord what they thought about this, and overall, it largely came down to the people who were in Cast SMP said, don't get rid of it, and the people who weren't in Cast SMP said, if this is what you think you should do it. And I'm not trying to say that one side is right or the other one is right, but at the end of the day, I have to go with my gut on this one, and my gut says, if I don't end this series now, I'm going to neglect it more and more and more. And that's just wrong for me to do. That's wrong for me to make Fluffy Host keep a server up that I'm not going to be using. It's wrong for me to advertise this as being a perk if I'm not even going to be a part of it, because I feel like if I'm going to advertise a server where you can play with me, I'm obligated to actually play on it. And I just can't play on the server a lot for tons of different reasons. Now, again, a revival, a second season or something along those lines is something I'm actively considering for in the future when there's less SMP content and there's more people interested in a sponsor exclusive type server. It just didn't work out that well this time. There was not enough planning. There was not enough numbers behind this one. And I'm not usually a guy to talk about numbers, YouTube numbers, subscribers, views, etc. But there just wasn't enough activity. And yes, you could make the claim, well, just open it up to all your subscribers. And as cool as that would be, I've tried doing similar things in the past, and you get people who, even though they're subscribed to you, still take advantage of the server, and they do trolling to people, they grief, they exploit bugs, etc. They just do things that overall, like, I can't really risk having a part of being on the server, especially being as a vanilla server with no plugins whatsoever. So it's just very unfortunate the series doesn't come to an end, because I did enjoy recording on Cast SMP. It has nothing to do with me not enjoying the server, not enjoying the members, because I did. Like, I talked to everybody on the server a fair chunk. I played a fair chunk on the server still, but not as much as I'd like to dedicate towards it, and I just don't really have the time in the day to be able to dedicate to it, with posting 1 to 4 times a day and working on other life things and other YouTube things, and just there's a lot of things in your life that you have to deal with, and unfortunately this is something that I think I have to draw to a conclusion for now. In the future, it might open up again. It's definitely something I'm actively considering, and if there's enough support for a future idea like this, maybe we'll do it. The big thing for me was it was getting time consuming, and there was a lot of other elements that were involved with this. But again, there's no hate to Fluffy Host at all. They're still a great server company. I would still highly recommend them. The server, this is such a high quality server they provided with me, which I really do appreciate. Like, them sponsoring this made this possible for the short period of time that it was, the few weeks, months we had on here. Although they might have not been the most long thing, and not as long as you expected, everybody who's on Cast SMP, there's still some pretty fantastic moments, and I don't think I'm going to forget them, and hopefully you won't either. In the future, we'll have some more fun experiences on some SMPs, potentially, but regardless, I had a good time on the server, and I think a lot of people did. There were some really cool builds on the server, ranging from this house to that giant epic village over there, to arguably I think my favorite build, I mean, on the server that I've seen, because I just love the concept of this build. I just never was able to do something like this, and I've always wanted to. So it's just, in my opinion, something that really, you know, it was cool, it was motivating, and made me inspired, which is this build up here. It looks very nuts, very cool, but that's besides the point. See, but cool things like this were why I wanted to have the SMP, and I still do want to have the SMP, and we might in the future, but there's a lot of reasons why it's ending. Hopefully you guys do understand. I'm not going to end this off with the whole if you enjoyed thing, but if you understand where I'm coming from, guys, please hit a like and subscribe. And in the future, Cast SMP might get a revival if there's enough support for it, and if that's what people want to see. But for now, I am going to have to officially sign off of Cast SMP. In the future, it might come back, but it's just not something that I'm really able to do at this time the way I want to do it properly. So since I can't do it right, I can't do it properly, and I can't do it the way it should be done, I'm not going to just like half do something, so I'm going to wrap it to a close. But I'll see you guys in another episode on the channel. Thank you so much for watching this Cast SMP finale.